Hello! So the 2024 Allure Best of Beauty winners have been announced, and as I've done the past few years, I've combed through the list of over 350 winners, and surprisingly enough, I think this year's list is better than last year's, which was a slight improvement over 2022 and years prior. Don't get me wrong, I still disagreed with plenty of their picks, but I don't like to focus on the negative in these videos. I'm so excited with what I have pulled here to share with you. These are products that I use and reach for in my everyday life. And I don't think I've had this many products like that to share in these Allure videos before. When I do these Allure Best of Beauty videos, I like to put myself in the frame of mind of a regular beauty consumer. If it wasn't my job to test and review beauty products, would I have the time, energy, or patience to rifle through all the categories and winners to see which products were deemed the best of the best? Probably not. So I do that for you. I go through and pick the products that stand out to me the most. And instead of there being only 20 to 25 products total, as in past years, I found way more than that this year and had to narrow it down to 25. So the ones I'm sharing with you got me the most excited. These are in regular rotation for me. I've been doing these Allure videos for the past few years because you seem to enjoy it and I have a lot of fun making them. We keep it casual and laid back. I give you my quick thoughts, speed reviews as to why I like these products so much, why they stand out to me. I know a few people cover Allure Best of Beauty videos in various ways. I have a lot of fun watching those too. I'll link some down below in my description box so you can check those out after you watch this video. I'll also link all the products I'm sharing, as I always do. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new, and let's go ahead and get into these 2024 Allure Best of Beauty award-worthy products that I'm incredibly excited about. I'll start with complexion products in general, beginning with the base category. They gave Best Mattifying Primer to e.l.f. Liquid Poreless Putty Primer, which I think is a great primer for all skin types. It's infused with squalane, so it helps control oil and shine without drying. It does it in more of a balancing type of way. It's a silicone-based primer that's vegan and cruelty-free. It has a nice silky texture to it that helps minimize the look of pores, smooth and blur, and grip onto your makeup for longer wear, of course. This is one of those primers that I just think can work really great for all skin types. And as someone who gets oil breakthrough in my T-zone, but is pretty normal around the perimeter of my face, I love that this controls my oil breakthrough without drying other areas of my face. They awarded Best Fuller Coverage Concealer to Huda Beauty Faux Filter Luminous Matte Concealer, which I love. I'm extremely picky about my concealers and under eye products because I have a dryness and texture under my eyes, and I adore this. I find it builds from medium to just over medium full coverage, not quite full. I found it interesting that they called this category Best Fuller Coverage Concealer and not full, maybe for that reason. It sort of stretches and moves with your under eye area. It does a great job of brightening and concealing, and it feels very lightweight. Now, I know luminosity is in the name, but I don't really find it so much luminous as it is just a flattering, natural, soft matte finish that wears beautifully throughout the day. I am in the shade Cotton Candy. If you're curious about any of my foundation or concealer shade matches, I always keep my lists linked down in my description box. They live over on my blog so that you can reference them anytime. These are two of my most reached for bronzers. They gave Best Powder Bronzer to Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush and Best Cream Bronzer to Say Sun Melt. There's nothing I like more than a natural, easy to apply bronzer that just melts with your skin and is basically undetectable. A bronzer that just gives life to your skin without looking like bronzer, and both of these accomplish that, whether I want to reach for a cream or a powder. I love that the Charlotte Tilbury is refillable, so you don't have to rebuy the entire thing every time. Clearly, I love it. I've hit pan, but I love how huge the pan size is because I can dip a big fluffy brush brush into it and apply it very, very quickly to my face, my neck, my chest, wherever I want. It just allows me to get ready as quickly as possible, which is often my goal. I have shade medium, which is what you see on top here. It's just a very silky powder that always looks natural. I will 100% repurchase this when I run out, so I was happy to see it on this list. And I was late to the party with Say Sun Melt. I just didn't purchase this. I didn't think I needed another cream bronzer, but I'm so glad I got it. It's another bronzer, though in cream form, that allows me to get ready quickly. I can dip my sponge or brush directly into it and apply it to my face very quickly and easily. It's got a formula that's very sheer, sort of melts into your skin. It's very lightweight and buildable and looks incredibly natural and doesn't stay sticky or tacky. It just looks like skin. Plus, it's got a lot of really nice ingredients to soothe, moisturize, and support your skin elasticity too. I have light bronze in Say, and here's how it compares to medium and Charlotte Tilbury in the pan, and here's Say light bronze and Charlotte Tilbury medium. They gave Best Multi-Use Palette to the Makeup Forever HD Skin Face Essentials palette, which I use and love. I think this is fantastic. There's also a deeper version of this, but I think they could have had a powder and cream pick for this category. And you know, if you're a subscriber of mine, what I think the powder pick should have been, and that's Smashbox Cali Contour. There are also two versions, a light and a deep of that too. And I think everyone needs to own that palette as well. But for a cream multi-use, multitasking palette, I think this is incredible. Plus you have Complexion products to even out the skin tone, to conceal, along with cream contour, cream bronzer, highlighters, and blush. I mean, basically everything you need. The quality is fantastic. Everything is very buildable. It melts into your skin. And I have no issues with this lasting throughout the day. I mean, I do set my makeup, but it looks and wears beautifully. I think this is a great pick. The winner for Best Mattifying Setting Spray is one I won't be without. I have put this through the ringer on some of my hottest, sweatiest days. This is Milk Makeup Pore Eclipse Matte Setting Spray. It's alcohol-free, non-drying, it's not sticky, and it has a very fine mist that helps blur your pores and give kind of a soft focus finish that sort of melts your makeup together, while it controls shine without really changing the finish of my makeup. It doesn't really make it more matte than it already was. It just helps me not get greasy during the day, and it locks everything in. I think they say for 16 hours. I know I've had days where I have worn my makeup for 16 hours with this and it works. This is great if you live in a really hot, humid area like I do. I am on my second full-size bottle and I have it in travel size. I will always have this unless something else comes along, but for right now, this is my mattifying, shine controlling setting spray of choice. I'm sticking with Complexion products and moving to the Splurge category, which has various types of products in it, not really broken out into different types of products. So I was excited to see one of my favorite foundations that I've loved since it launched in the Splurge category. And I haven't really talked about this in a long time, although I do reach for it regularly. This is Pat McGrath Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Foundation. This is my second bottle. The first shade I had was 10, which was a little bit too light for me. So I grabbed it in 13, which is what this is. And it's a little bit too deep. So I either bring it down my neck or use a bronzer on my neck to make it work. One of these days, we're gonna get this right. But this is one of my favorite skin-like, long-wearing foundations that hydrates and has some nice skincare ingredients in it too. It provides some anti-aging, anti-wrinkle benefits, and is buildable from sheer to light medium coverage, and just makes my skin look nice, healthy, and beautiful. Now, before I set it, if you're someone who doesn't like to set your foundation, I feel like I get a nice satin matte finish from it. After I set it, it looks like a soft, matte, really natural finish. It blurs my pores and texture nicely and gives my skin a more enhanced appearance. It feels really lightweight. I think this is a beautiful foundation across all skin types. If you have normal to dry skin, I think you'll absolutely love this. If you have oily or combination skin that gets some shine breakthrough, you may have to blot with this. I find I do have to blot with it a couple of times a day, but it's not a greasy shine that I get, and my makeup stays in place. It stays looking good all day. This always ends up in one of my top foundations list at least, and has been worth the splurge for me twice and will be again. They also included the Hourglass Unreal Liquid Blush in the splurge category, which I think is fantastic. This is a relatively new release still that I've shared in a couple of videos. It was in one of my monthly favorites. I can't remember the other one, but I really like this formula. It's got a watery serum formula that blends out so easily. It's very buildable and easy to work with. It gives this kind of diffused watercolor looking finish that smooths and blurs and hydrates. It doesn't stay sticky or tacky or turn matte either. It just looks like a really natural skin-like finish that can give you a soft wash of color, or you can build it up to look more vibrant. I just love the formula. I mean, I have a lot of blushes that I reach for, and this is one that lives downstairs at my vanity and has been staying in my rotation. You only need a tiny bit to this little bottle. It's going to last you forever. Now, this is actually in the tools category, but because it has to do with complexion products, I want to go ahead and talk about it here before we move on to other categories. This brush I have used so many times since I purchased it several years ago, and it still looks and feels perfect. And it's one of my most used, best multitasking brushes for so many different things. This probably could have been in the splurge category actually, because it is kind of pricey, but because I use it so often, it has been more than worth it for me. So this is the Hourglass Veil powder brush that's perfect for all over powder, bronzer. You can use it as a big fluffy blush brush if you have a normal or a bigger face than I do. I have a very small face. So this is the side that I usually use for blush. I've also used this side for setting my under eye, for highlighter, and for contour. The options are endless. There were other brush winners I could have put in this video that I love and enjoy and think are award worthy, but I went with this one because I use it so often and because I think it's been in my collection the longest. I'm looking around my table here, one of the longest anyway. So for me, it's award worthy and splurge worthy too. I don't even know where to start with this eyes category. So many of my favorites were winners. I'll do my best to be as concise as possible. I think I'm going to start with eyeshadow palettes. So two of my very favorites that sit on top of my vanity that I reach for day in, day out were winners for best powder eyeshadow. Makeup by Mario Master Mattes, the original, and the Too Faced Born This Way mini eyeshadow palettes. I have raved about both of these many, many times. So I'll just address this one really quickly. This is all mattes and more of a neutral warm palette. There is a more neutral cool palette too if you're interested in that, but this is the one that I prefer and the one that's listed as the actual award winner. The reason why I love this is not because I do matte looks every day, but even when I'm doing other types of looks, I reach into this palette for deeper shades to line my eye with, for this light shade here to highlight my brow bone or my inner corner, or for mid-tone shades for my crease or transition. And I also do get complete looks from this palette, but the quality is great. The shadows are creamy and blendable, buildable, easy to work with, all the things you want, which is also what you get in terms of quality with these little mini palettes. Now, I prefer Cold Smolder Nudes because it's the cool toned mini palette, and I already have the full version, the natural nudes, which is pretty warm and neutral toned. By the way, if you don't have this palette, this is another palette I reach for day in and day out. It lives either downstairs in my vanity where I get ready daily, or up here where I film. I get complete looks from it, or I reach into it for the same reasons I just shared with you about the Makeup by Mario palette. And this one contains shimmers. These little mini palettes are extensions of this. So that's why I like this one. The warm one is closer in tone to shades that are in here if you're looking for that. But I love Cold Smolder Nudes. It just gives me something a little bit different. but I don't think you can go wrong with any of these palettes. It just depends on what you're looking for. They're definitely winners in my book. So is this one. As much as I love a good eyeshadow palette, I also really love a good one and done, swipe it on and go eyeshadow stick or cream eyeshadow. And two of my favorites are Best of Beauty award winners, Merit Solo Shadow and Laura Mercier Caviar eyeshadow sticks. I love both of these because they allow me to swipe them on, although in different ways, and blend out the edges and go. I can wear them alone or with other products and I'm good to go. This is Merit Solo Shadow in Vachetta. It's a neutral, easy shade for swiping on. You do have to work with these very, very quickly because they set down to be budge proof. Once they set, they are not going anywhere. But I just tap, blend this out with my finger, blend out the edges, and it sort of evens out the imperfections on my eyelids. It gives me a really nice flattering look in the process. Now I sort of sheared it out here and wanted to show you the pigmentation here. I'm just going to go ahead and show you for Merit and Laura Mercier. I'm rubbing really hard here and these are not budging. So I frequently like to just swipe Vachetta on very sheerly all across my lid and blend it up almost to my brow bone just for a one and done kind of bronzer like look that takes maybe 5 seconds. And I've been talking about Laura Mercier Caviar sticks for years, so I'll keep this short and sweet. The shades you see here are Cocoa and Smoky Quartz, and I sheared them out a little bit here. Cocoa is a very versatile shade in that I can use it as shadow and I line with it too, but these are great to scribble onto your eye and then blend them out with a brush or your finger. These give you a little bit more time to work with them before they set down. You can wear these alone. You can wear a few shades at once and kind of blend them just like you would powder shadow. I love these things. They've been favorites of mine for a long time. I have a ton sitting over here on my table because I reach for these all the time. I don't remember what video it was recently where I finally declared that Maybelline Build-A-Brow was my favorite brow pen, high-end or drugstore. And it appears as though Allure agrees with me because they gave the award for best brow pen to Maybelline Build-A-Brow. I have it in shade Ash Brown and this just gives the most natural hair-like brow strokes. And the reason why I like this particular pen so much and was excited to see it on this list is because it's more effortless to use than any I've tried before. Typically, I have to really work at using a light hand to not go overboard, to not end up with too dark of a stroke. This is not what I have on today, by the way. I'm testing something out. But with this one, it's just easier. I don't go overboard with it. The tip is very, very fine, so I don't have to concentrate as hard to not end up with Groucho Marx brows. If you don't know who Groucho Marx is, you're telling me your age. But yeah, this is just my favorite brow pen. Now, I wasn't in love with the gel on the end. I didn't find it to have a lot of hold to it, and I like having a spoolie on the end, so I just took the gel off and used this as a spoolie. So that's what I did there. I've raved about L'Oreal Voluminous Panorama Mascara in several videos now, how I love it for volume and length and the waterproof version for holding my curl in the process, but I have tried both the waterproof and non, and I think this is a great mascara. Allure gave this the award for best volumizing mascara, and I do agree. I have pretty wimpy lashes, and I don't agree with a lot of people's favorite mascara picks because I find what typically works for people and their really nice fluffy lashes doesn't always work for me, but I like this one. I also find this wand does a really nice job of separating my lashes and it gives me kind of a flared lash look, which I really like. You gotta love a good drugstore priced mascara. Now this eye product is actually from the skin category, but because it has to do with the eye area, I wanna go ahead and include it before we move on since I don't have any similar products to include with it later. Now, Now, I've been using the other version of this eye cream as my morning eye cream. It's what's open in my bathroom right now. This is the Neocutis Lumiere Firm Riche, and Allure awarded Best Line Smoothing Eye Cream to the regular firm version. I'll share with you the difference here in a minute. So Neocutis is a medical grade skincare brand. You'll often find it in dermatologist's office, and Lumiere Firm Eye Cream has growth factors, proprietary peptides, and caffeine to reduce the appearance of fine lines, wrinkles, crow's feet, puffiness. It has hyaluronic acid to hydrate and ingredients to soothe and help brighten under eye darkness. It's a fantastic eye cream. Now, if you have drier under eyes like I do, you may prefer the Riche version. This is probably my third bottle of this, not in a row. I've just gone back to it time and time again because it's great for daytime under makeup. It's great for nighttime. It's rich without being heavy. It's very creamy and nourishing, but it feels lightweight. This has a trio of emollients in it to help hydrate in addition to all those things we just talked about. They call this a luxurious, more emollient version of Lumiere Firm. So you have a couple options here, but I do in fact think this is a fantastic line smoothing eye cream that actually works. It actually has fantastic ingredients. Not that other eye creams don't, but if you want a tried and true one that is really good, that's recommended by many dermatologists, this one is a good one. The winner for Best Lip Liner is Makeup by Mario Ultra Suede Sculpting Lip Pencil. Now, are there other great lip liners out there? Yes, but I reach for these day in and day out, specifically these two shades. But the formula itself is really nice and comfortable, especially if you have dry lips or fine lines. The pigmentation is nice and opaque, and they glide on easily without tugging. They're infused with emollients for extra comfort. They don't feather or bleed. So they're perfect to slightly overline your lips with if you're someone who likes to do that. And I find that they last really nicely and they don't emphasize any fine lines that I have on my lips. So if you're someone who likes to wear just lip liner underneath, say, a clear balm or something, these are great for that. And they also help my lip products last longer throughout the day. I've gone through, I think, 2 smoky pinks and 3 hues. People are always confused when I say that name if they haven't tried the shade before. It's H-U-G-H, like the name hue, not hue like the color. And the reason why I like these 2 shades in particular is because they're very close to my own natural lip color. Hue is the lighter of the 2 and smoky pink is a little bit more deep. I should probably look into some other shades, but these are 2 holy grail shades for me in a pretty perfect formula. Allure awarded Best Day Lip Balm to one I use both day and or night. This is Ole Henriksen Pout Preserve Peptide Lip Treatment in Strawberry Sorbet. Now, they didn't specify the scent, but this is the one I fell in love with the moment I tried it and have not looked back. I use this every single day. This does way more than just hydrate. It has lip-specific peptides in it and nourishing butters and oils that help with volume loss and bounce. And the texture is divine. I like this so much more than I ever did Laneige and even Summer Fridays, which I still like. Summer Fridays won, I want to say, the Tinted Award, the Tinted Lip Balm Award, and I almost put it in this video. I really do like that one, but this is holy grail status for me. The textures of both Laneige and Summer Fridays are a little bit thinner than this. The texture of this is pretty much perfect in my opinion. I hesitate to say it's sticky because when I think of sticky, I think of old school MAC lip gloss where, you know, you turned and your hair stuck to your lips. I would say this has more of an adherence to it. My lips don't stick together, you know, but it's not runny. It's not too thin. It's not too thick. And the scent is amazing. It's just got this natural strawberry scent to it. For me, it's the best of everything I want in a lip treatment. Plus it applies incredibly easily. The applicator is really nice. I mean, I smell it right now. It's just so good. And they gave the award for best night lip balm to another lip balm in my regular rotation, Glow Recipe Plum Plump Hyaluronic Gloss Balm, which I've also shared numerous times. This is another balm that isn't sticky, but it has substance to it. It feels really nice and smooth and nourishing, and it has a natural raspberry scent to it. I like this a lot better than the comparable Laneige in the pot too. That raspberry scent comes from raspberry extract. That plus hyaluronic acid boost moisture and hydrate and protect from moisture loss. And the plum blend in here has vitamin C that smooths the look of lip lines and wrinkles. It's got a nice high shine, kind of juicy finish to it. And I find that if I apply this at night, it lasts. I wake up and it's not gone from my lips. It doesn't slip slide all around. And even once it's removed later, my lips still feel soft. So I think I can officially say this is my favorite lip treatment in tube form, in jar form, and then I have one in stick form, which many of you know is Drunk Elephant Lippy. When I first got Crown Affair dry shampoo powder, I didn't think I was going to reach for it as much as I do, but I use this pretty frequently. And this did win for best dry shampoo powder. I was kind of happy to see that. So you can get the jar, and then once you run out, they do have refills. Now mine is kind of messy right now because I didn't close my sifter all the way the last time I used it. This is a talc-free dry shampoo powder. If you don't like aerosol formulas and you just want something that you can quickly take through your hair and it's pretty invisible, you can dip this straight in here, or you can pour some into the lid, and it refreshes and deodorizes your hair. There's a nice scent to this. I'll put the fragrance notes here, but I find the scent is just nice and light and clean, and I don't notice it so much later, but it is a pleasant experience to apply. I typically will apply this at night after I wash my hair so that I avoid the oil buildup during the night so that I can go longer during the day. And I've used this on second day hair too. And I like that it doesn't leave my hair feeling dry or gritty. It doesn't irritate my scalp either. It's quick, it's easy, and it's very finely milled. I don't get a lot of white residue with it. It quickly blends in. I do like the little brush too. I feel like this tub is gonna last me forever. I've been using this and I feel like none is gone. Two of my most frequently used hair tools are winners in the tools category, which I was really happy to see because they are that good. Best flat iron went to GHD Platinum Plus Styler, which I pretty much use every day. Even if I'm not wearing my hair straight, I use it to get the little kinks and bends out of my hair right at the root of my hair. But it's great for straightening too. I love that I can turn it on. It heats up within 30 seconds to the perfect temperature that's effective and safe for your hair. I've used it to get curls too. It's just so versatile, so good. And GHD tools last forever. The quality is really good. And the award for best waver goes to another tool I use and am asked about all the time. Even if you don't know you're asking about it, you do, because when I wear my hair wavy, I always get asked either how I did it or what I used to get it. And the Amika High Tide Deep Waver is what I use. It's just a waver crimper that you open and close and take it down your hair. It's the easiest thing in the world to use. It has adjustable temperatures. And the reason why I like this versus other ones I've tried is because the barrels are the perfect size. They're not too big, they're not too small. They just give my hair, I guess my length of hair, I don't know, the perfect tousled kind of undone look. And I've tried other ones that you have to leave clamped for a while for them to actually hold the wave, and I find this one to just be very quick. I can fly through doing my hair basically, and I'm not someone that likes to spend a lot of time doing my hair. The shorter the better, and this helps me do that. The small slip silk scrunchies, that was a bit of a tongue twister, won for best hair accessory in the tools category. I kind of think this could have been in the splurge category because there are so many knockoffs or less expensive versions of this now. And if you have fine hair or hair that creases easily or that slips out of ponytail holders easily like I do, this is a great type of tool, which is what they're calling this, to use because they don't slip or crease as much as other types of ponytail holders. And they also don't pull your hair. They're very comfortable. You kind of forget they're there. I've had to throw other ones out because they end up stretching out so much over time and they just won't stay in my hair. And when I look in my drawer, it's still full of slip scrunchies because they still look the same. This hair product was in the Splurge category and I'm not sure why, because it's $25. Tell me why this is in the Splurge category and the Hourglass Veil powder brush wasn't. Make it make sense. This is the Anna Blue Scalp Cleanser that I've raved about here and on Instagram. If you want a luxurious spa feeling in your shower, get this. This is so good at exfoliating all the buildup from your scalp and hair, which occurs no matter what type of product you're using. But it has this spa scent to it that just makes you feel like you're in a spa, and it quickly works itself into this luxurious lather. It helps balance your scalp and leaves it feeling refreshed and invigorated. And in the process of exfoliating, getting rid of all the gunk, impurities, and buildup, it helps replenish and hydrate both the scalp and hair while being gentle and without stripping and leaving your hair feeling soft and silky. This is so nice and really different from any other exfoliating cleansing type of product I've ever used. In the body category, winner for best razor went to Billie, which I've been talking about since before you could buy it in stores. It was only available mail order. I think they sent it to me years ago in PR or something, and I fell in love with it. I tried it and the Flamingo razor, and I hated the Flamingo. And I've been using Billie ever since. It's so good. It shaves perfectly, and the cartridges are less expensive than other razors. It's cute. It's got a little mount so you can hang it on your shower wall, or you can just set it down like you normally would. It's attractive, functional, and less expensive to maintain. There's nothing not to like about this winner choice, in my opinion anyway. So these are the 25 winners that I wholeheartedly agree with and use and rotate in my everyday life. I love coming through the Allure Best of Beauty winners and sharing my thoughts with you. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful in some way. If you did, give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.